You are already richer than you look. And the fact that nobody can tell is not a problem. It is the whole point. You are sitting in your car in a parking lot on a Tuesday afternoon. The engine is off. You are not going anywhere. You are just sitting there looking at your phone because 30 seconds ago your banking app showed you a number you have never seen before in a single account with your name on it. 5 digits, $10,000. And the world outside your windshield has no idea. The person walking past your car right now, the one carrying a takeout bag and talking on her phone, she does not know. The guy in the truck 2 spaces over who just spent 4 minutes adjusting his mirrors before pulling out, he does not know. Nobody in this parking lot knows that the person sitting in the car with the 3-year-old jacket and the thermos of home-brewed coffee just crossed a line that most people in this country will never cross. You did not win it. You did not inherit it. You built it out of every small decision you made over 11 months while everyone around you was making different ones. The thing they never tell you about that moment is this. The $10,000 is not what changed, you changed. 11 months ago. The money is just the evidence. Everything you are about to hear exists underneath the version of personal finance that most people ever get to see. It is what the quietly wealthy figured out while everyone was watching the performance. And it starts with a question you probably got wrong. You thought this was about the money. It was never about the money. Every week for 11 months you did one thing. You created a gap. A gap between what came in and what went out. You held that gap open when every instinct told you to close it. When the trip was posted, when the upgrade felt earned. When everyone around you was spending at a pace that looked normal because it was normal. Normal for people who will arrive at 50 with nothing to show for 30 years of working. You did not close the gap. You held it. You let it accumulate. And now that gap has weight, a shape, a number you can see on a screen. 90% of people who earn exactly what you earn cannot do what you just did. Not because they earn too little, because they let their gap bleed out in increments no single one of which felt significant. The drive-through, the subscription they forgot to cancel, the delivery fee that became invisible. Not because they were reckless, because they were human in a world designed to close every gap the moment it opens. You are not where they are. You are not where you were. And the distance between those two places is not luck. It is 11 months of the same quiet decision made over and over again in the dark, when nobody was watching and nobody was going to congratulate you. That $10,000 is a mirror. What it is showing you is who you actually are. The week before you hit 10,000, you drove past a house in your neighborhood. You know the one. Nice house. New SUV in the driveway. One of those lawns that tells you someone hired someone else to cut it. You have passed it 100 times, and every single time something sat quietly in your chest. A version of I should be there. A version of I am behind. You were not behind. You were invisible. And invisible is the only position from which you can actually build something. You want to know what was happening inside that house while you were driving past it feeling behind. $1,100 a month in car payments on a vehicle losing value every single day. A credit card balance that has not touched zero in 4 years. A refinance last spring to cover a vacation and 2 appliances. $260 a month for the lawn because the lawn is the part people see. 1 signal broadcast at enormous ongoing cost. We are doing well. That family is not building wealth. They are paying monthly installments to rent the appearance of it. And the appearance is expensive. It has a bill due every single month. The question you learned to ask, the one that separated you from everyone around you, was not, does this make me look like I am doing well? It was, does this move me closer to actually being free? Those 2 questions look similar from the outside. They produce completely different lives. Most people ask the first one without realizing it. You spent 11 months asking the second one, and it cost you almost nothing except the performance. Now something is going to happen that nobody warned you about. The day you cross $10,000, it does not feel like anything you expected. There is no wave of relief, no flood of excitement, no moment where the weight lifts and everything clicks into place. You are going to sit in your car in a parking lot and feel something much quieter than what you imagined. The way a locked door sounds different from the inside once you have the key. Not loud, just different, solid, done. What you are actually feeling is proof. You proved you can make a decision that costs you something real and hold it through 11 months of temptation without breaking. You proved the gap is not fixed by your income. It is controlled by you deliberately every single month. People move through their entire financial lives as passengers. The paycheck lands, the expenses claim it. The month ends somewhere they did not choose. They do not move money, they move with it. You just took the wheel. The gap is real. You know it is real. You know you can hold it on purpose, which means the next 10,000 is not a question, it is a schedule. This is the part nobody puts in the personal finance content. Before you had this money, fear ran your financial life. Not the kind of fear you name. The quiet kind that lives in your chest and makes itself known at the worst possible moment. Should I push back on this? I need the job. Should I leave this situation? I cannot afford the gap right now. Every choice ran through that same filter. What happens if something breaks and there is nothing there? 4 to 6 months of living expenses sitting untouched removes that question permanently. It does not make you rich. It does something more immediately useful. It removes fear from the operating system. You start making decisions from clarity. You start saying yes to what is right and no to what is wrong, regardless of what either one pays. You start moving through your own life like someone with ground under their feet. Every bad financial decision you have ever watched anyone make, including your own, came from fear. Fear has just left your operating system. You are not wealthy, but you are free in a way that most people earning twice what you earn are not free. And that freedom compounds exactly like the money does, quietly and out of sight. What comes next will either protect everything you just built or erase it. Within 60 days of hitting 10,000, something is going to arrive that feels exactly like permission to spend it. A trip someone posts, a thing you have been putting off, a voice in your own head that says you earned this. The pressure is off, you can breathe now. That voice is going to feel completely reasonable because you did earn it. You did work for it. Every word of that voice is technically true. Do not listen to it. Not because you do not deserve rest, but because this $10,000 is not money right now. It is a belief system with a dollar amount attached. Spend it back to zero and you do not lose the money. You lose the message. You tell the version of you that held the gap for 11 months that the old default is still who you are when real money arrives. That takes years to undo. The 10,000 takes months to rebuild. Keep it. All of it. Treat it as if it does not exist. And immediately, not eventually, immediately open a second account. Give it a name that means something to you. And start the gap again. A smaller target this time if you need to. 500 a month. 200. Whatever the gap can hold, because you are not saving money anymore. You are running a machine, and the machine does not rest because it crossed a milestone. The machine runs. The first 10,000 is the proof. Everything after it is the machine doing what you built it to do. Every belief you had about how wealth works was wrong. You spent your whole life being told the salary is the variable. Get the raise, earn your way out. That story keeps you focused on income and away from the gap. The gap is where every dollar of real leverage lives. Someone earning $40,000 a year who keeps a consistent slice of every paycheck year after year builds more wealth than someone earning 3 times that and spending every dollar the moment it arrives. Not sometimes. Every time. Wealth is the gap, held long enough that it starts compounding on its own. You have spent 11 months learning that, and you now have $10,000 that would not exist if you had not. The reason there is no ceremony today is because the world can only see what you spend. The car, the clothes, the lunch. Your performance looks ordinary. It is supposed to. The ordinary appearance is not a side effect, it is armor. Deliberate invisibility from the expectations and requests that attach to visible wealth like a second tax. The person at the office broadcasting every upgrade and vacation is spending real money every month maintaining a story that costs them the gap. Lifestyle grows with income. The gap never widens. The machine never starts. They look wealthy. They are renting the appearance of it. You are running quiet. And quiet is the only setting at which this machine actually builds. One day, not soon, but one day, you are going to open an app or read an email and there is going to be a number in it that does not look like anything from your current life. And you are going to sit wherever you are, car, kitchen, wherever the ordinary Tuesday finds you, and you are going to feel something. It is going to feel exactly like this parking lot. The same quiet, the same absence of ceremony, the same world continuing without acknowledging anything happened. Just a number that grew because you refused to close the gap, even when nobody was watching, even when there was no applause, even when the person at every red light for 11 months had no idea what was being built beside them. That sameness is the whole answer. The feeling was never tied to the number, it was always tied to the system doing what you built it to do without drama, without permission, without anyone in any parking lot having any idea. You are building something nobody can see. The ones actually building it are invisible. You can walk past them every day and never know. They are in the ordinary car, the ordinary lunch, the jacket from 3 years ago, sitting in parking lots on Tuesday afternoons looking at numbers the whole world drove past without seeing. You are one of them now. You have been for 11 months. You just finally have the evidence. Go build the rest of it.